You are now listening to Nyeckro and DJ Crobo. High sodium content.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nyeckro from High Sodium Content. So high, so salty. And we're bringing you another video today. And listen, y'all know on this podcast, on this channel, how I feel about the Democratic Party. I feel that, well, I know that they don't do anything for Black Americans, even though Black Americans are their largest voter base. Case in point, when the whole George Floyd thing happened, there was no hate crime bill issued. And then we get to the height of COVID, or I should say the middle of COVID, where you had a handful of Asian individuals that were attacked, and all of a sudden they come together to get this hate crime bill for Asian Americans, which is insane because Black Americans lead the on the FBI stats for victims of hate crime. So I mean, that's just one example amongst others. The widespread immigration. It's so much more. The constant disrespect to Black Americans, saying that we're not going to get reparations, don't ask for reparations. You can look at videos of Jim Clyburn saying such, and very nasty too. You never see Black politicians, or white politicians, I should say, be disrespectful to their constituents, to their base. You never see them talk crazy or talk down, in such a way. But nonetheless, you have some folks who in our community that just don't seem to get it, that like the disrespect and think that there's something wrong with you for wanting something for your vote. And case in point, we're going to look at this video right now, and I'm going to react to it, but let's check it out.
Black Video Network, and as usual, we want to acknowledge our producer, Carl Booker, who keeps us all in line and keeps things going. So, Chris here shared with me I think a YouTube about this brother who's saying, he said one thing, I don't even mention it, but the second thing, he said, and Black people need to abandon the Democratic Party. And I said, oh my gosh, here we go.
Yes, they do.
And to do that is insanity. If you want to have
What?
power, political power at all. So if you abandon, let me first ask this question.
Okay. Let's just pause it right here. Let me gain my composure. I want to be nice because this is my grandmother's demographic, and my grandmother has sense. But a lot of older Black folks in this generation that you see, especially this guy, they're the reason why we're not getting to where we need to get to. I can't put it any other way. He says that abandoning the Democratic Party is insanity because we'll have no political power. We already don't have political power. We already don't have political power. What are you talking about? The Congressional Black Caucus is a joke. They do everything for everybody except for Black folks. And I kid you not. Like you can look this up yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just throwing bullshit at you. You can look this up yourself. But he says that we have to vote our way out of it and vote blue. Okay. All right. Let's let the man talk.
So if you abandon, let me first ask this question, and then y'all can attack me, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's a joke. Yeah, it's funny.
Damn.
It's funny. See,
If we abandon
this
the
is
Democratic Party, where do we
sad. This is such a sad thing to see.
Well, you know, from my position,
See, it's so sad to see Black folk that old, that ignorant, and that out of touch. If he said, if we don't vote for the Democrats, what are we gonna do? Like a child, like a 2-year-old, mommy, daddy, what do we do? What are you talking about? Clearly, this man doesn't have any cojones, and maybe he had some way back when in those times, but he doesn't have it now. He's clearly out of touch. Listen, what I want my viewers to understand is that you have to be politically savvy. You have to understand the game. You have to understand that this is a business. It's all a business. You shouldn't just vote for people just to do it. That's performing. You know, that's acting. You get no reward or achievement out of that. What the little blue button that said that you voted? Come on now. Come on, people. And you can miss me with the, well, your ancestors died to vote. No, they didn't. They died to be free. They died for freedom, and they died for justice. They didn't die to vote. Come on now. It's this backwards way of thinking that is stifling us, that is stifling this community. Do you know that out of all the disrespectful things that Joe Biden did, black folks voted, I believe, 87% for Joe Biden. The author of the 1994 crime bill, the one that didn't want your black children going to school with his, the one that said if you don't vote for him, you're not black. What? As if you don't have any sense or mind of your own. And this is the whole tone of the Democratic Party. They're very authoritarian, you know, in their approach to black Americans. Like, you need to come out and vote for us, you know, like, and yet you've done nothing for us. This administration has done absolutely nothing for black Americans. Let me be clear on that. Even Kamala Harris said she's not going to do anything for black Americans, and y'all still voted for her.
Black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
Still voted for him. It's insane. But if you don't vote Democrat, what's going to happen to you? Well, I can tell you one thing: you're not going to die. You're not going to be put back in chains. Nothing crazy that the Democratic Party will tell you. No, they don't want you to have choice. You need to understand, like I said, how the game works. If nobody is providing anything for your vote, you do not vote for them. You know, you can listen, you guys can do whatever you want to do with your vote. Do whatever you want to do. But you have to be intelligent about it. That's all I'm saying. If you're not going to vote for the Democrats, maybe you might want to vote for the Republicans. I don't know. If they don't, I mean, if they had any sense, they would come out with a policy for reparations right now to kind of win that vote. But that's another story. Or you could just sit out. You could protest. I refuse to take part in this, in these elections that don't do anything for my community. Nothing has changed. Look at all these cities. Look at New York right now. The rampant crime. They have insane amounts of poverty and homelessness. Yet they want to take all your taxpayer dollars. I mean, the citizens of New York take all your taxpayer dollars and pay for these immigrants, for these asylum seekers. Where you don't prioritize the American citizens first. You have homeless veterans, people that fought for this country are on the streets. But you can take these people from all these other countries and stuff and just flock them in here, with no vetting process, no nothing. They could be criminals, psychopaths, rapists, whatever the case may be, and just throw them in the community, but do nothing for these homeless Americans. This is the Democratic Party. This is the same party, right, that wants to force all this LGBTQ ideology upon you and your children with no recourse. You can't say anything about it. You can't say no, I'm not with it. No, you're a bad person, and we're gonna cancel you and all this extra stuff. This is all the Democratic Party. I want to give your children puberty blockers so that they can never reproduce as adults and have a normal life as adults. This is what they promote. This is what that party promotes. The deletion of unborn children. I mean, it's sick. And this man is talking about what do we do? What do I do? It's sad, but let's see what this woman has to say.
Interests be addressed. I know that there are concerns about the Democratic Party not addressing Black issues, but if we go Republican fascist, are we in a worse position going over there?
I agree, and that's why I made the statement for us to abandon the Democratic Party is insanity.
This man is insane.
And you say that the Democratic Party does not
They don't
address our issues.
So what I'm saying here is this, and I've looked at several YouTube shows, and I go to Black Twitter, and I see the comments, and I'm looking at what our millennials were saying, and all they can see is that the U.S. government, Democrat, Republican, are doing more visibly for other groups, specifically for other groups such as
exactly.
the Asian.
Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? Right. Yep. Here we go. At least she kind of gets it, you know. At least she understands, you know, to some degree, you know, why my generation is so against this party. They do for everyone else, and they want you to believe that because you want something for your vote, you're wrong. No. You should be happy to vote, and all these other people, all these other groups get ahead of you while you get nothing and you stay stagnant in the same place.
Man, this is some bullshit.
It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. And she mentioned Chicago, right? And I hate the guy. I mean, I hate the fact that the guy's name is Brandon, but the new mayor, he is. I mean, I think his first couple weeks in office, he's trying to pass this bill to give millions of dollars to these undocumented workers, to these immigrants. And she's right to say, no, she was right to say that is our reparations. It was sent to Ukraine. It's being sent to all these undocumented workers. And there was no study for Ukraine. There's no study being done for these asylum seekers. There's no study. But when you want reparations, oh, HR 40, you know, we need a study upon it. You know, we gotta think about this. You know, it can't just be cash payments.
Get the fuck on out of here. There's no bunch of this.
Meanwhile, if you look at the totality of American history, and I'm not going to use just Black American history no more, because it's the totality of American history. They want to take out this little caveat, you know, and place it and just relegate it to 28 days, you know, the shortest day, the shortest month out of the year, to try and cram in the rest of American history. And that shouldn't be the case. Really shouldn't. You know, it's reparations, like I'm gonna keep telling you guys, it goes way beyond slavery, because there has been no attempt, I should say no successful attempt at compensation, at compensating these Americans. And these are Americans we're talking about. We're not talking about Ukrainians. We're not talking about asylum seekers. You know, we're not talking about any other group. We're talking about Black Americans, the backbone of America, the place where all these inventions, such as open heart surgery, roller coasters, the hot comb, so many different things, the filament in the light bulb, traffic lights, the list goes on. This country was built by Black Americans, and not one day have we received reparations for anything. Free labor, discrimination, domestic terrorism, raping, pillaging, destruction, bombing, murder, lynching. No recompense has been made. But yet they'll tell you they need to study. It's clear as day. It's in our history. I'm not making this stuff up. You can look this stuff up. You know, any fairly decent social studies book will tell you this information. Or if not, you got the web. The information is at your fingertips. So the fact that we're even having a discussion like this is crazy to me. It really is. But, you know, she seems to at least have a grasp of our sentiment and why it's necessary to show this Democratic Party that we're not to be trifled with. Enough of the theatrics. Enough of the fiasco. It's done. It's done. Because I can tell you that they will never get my vote again unless there's something concrete on the table. It's not all inclusive. It's not black and brown. None of that. That says black Americans. Nothing else. Not women, because we know that with women, they mean white women. That's the biggest minority above you. Can't make this stuff up. But like I said, you can look it up yourself. But let's continue.
They're doing things for the LGBTQIA plus community, specifically for them. But when it comes to Black folks, all of a sudden studies have to be done. Reparations are being given to undocumented workers.
Exactly.
Reparations being given.
Well,
And just like I said about in the Ramaswamy video,
that could have gone into the Black community.
just like I said in the Ramaswamy video, all these immigrants are coming over because of the strides that Black Americans made. If it wasn't for the civil rights era, for the civil rights movement, you wouldn't have all these immigrants over here. You just wouldn't. with the racist nature of this country, it wouldn't happen that way. You know, and I know a lot of them think that they're coming over here on the strength of their own merits, but it's not. It's really isn't. You know, and the sooner they understand that, and you know, I think that, you know, to some degree, most Black Americans understand that too. Is that immigrants really can't talk. You know, you have no leg to stand on. If it wasn't for the civil rights movement, you wouldn't be here. So that's just that.
Okay. So it's the whole thing. What are you doing for me lately? What are you doing for me lately?
Not so much.
Why don't you go back and look at the history, the Democratic Party? You mentioned the Civil Rights Bill. Do they realize that if you didn't have the Civil Rights Bill, their butts will still be getting out?
He's talking about over 60 years ago. He's talking 60 years ago. And he makes it sound like, oh, well, we have this mentality. Well, what are they doing for me lately? Correct. What are they doing for me lately? Not a damn thing. You have to earn a vote. You have to earn votes. That's clear as day. Anything that involves some type of election. What do? Think about high school, right? It's essentially a popularity contest, but you have to do something to get those votes. You have to do something to get those people to like you. So the Democratic Party just assumes that Black folks are just stupid and ignorant, and that we can do whatever we want to them, and they're going to vote for us anyway. And I mean, they might just be right if you got fools like this guy. So this is an old fool. He's an old fool, and you know, I'm trying to be nice with the language, you know, because my mom watches it, you know, but I really want to go in on this guy, because somebody need to throw a shoe at him. Throw a size 14 original Timberland boot square out that balding head to knock some sense into him. What are they doing for us lately? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Has anything changed, sir, in 60 years, being that you're talking about something that was 60 years ago? Has anything changed since then? We're basically in the same condition. The same condition. That doesn't make sense. That's not progress. That's not how things evolve over time. You need something for your vote.
On the back of a bus
No,
or not being able to, let me finish.
Okay.
Eat in a restaurant. The Civil Rights Bill did that to them. The Voting Rights Bill of 1965. Do they
What did Barack
realize
Obama do for Black
would not be
Americans?
president
Not a damn
if it hadn't
thing.
been for the Voting Rights Bill? Do they realize that was really targeted at blacks when it was needed? So the fact that
What?
maybe they're doing something for the Asian Americans, they have a right to have something done for them, just like we had a right to have a civil rights bill. The Fair Housing Act.
And again, what's changed? Black folks still get denied for housing loans. There's some black folks. We've had instances, a lot of stories, which I'm sure many of you have seen, where black folks gone into a bank to cash a check and the police are called on them. What are you talking about, sir? What are you talking about? Man, this level of stupidity should be criminal.
Bill in 1968 that was directed at black folks not being able to live in housing. All this happened because of the Democratic Party and a president that Selma did a terrible disservice to, and that's President Lyndon Johnson.
But still, I'm thinking that when you start looking at the younger generation,
He's so out of touch.
where is this? Where are we on the anti-black hate crime bill? We've got an anti-Asian hate crime bill.
One
Okay.
bill.
Still,
Come on, give me a break.
but
One
we
bill.
and
Give me a
if you
break.
start looking at
He says, "Give me a break." He says, "Give me a break." When you lead in the highest, in the highest charts for hate crime violence, for victims of hate crime, you lead at the top. Did you know that? It's not Asians, and they're at the lower end. The lower end, and because we want a hate crime bill for us, which is completely deserved if you look at our history. I mean, you have Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, you know, the bombings in the South, Dylan Roof. I mean, these things are constant. They're constant. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand this is the face, or I should say one of the faces who stopped the progress of Black America. It's him. It's those who think like him in our community. It's him. It's him. It's so sad. Look at the confusion on his face. The level of contempt for us wanting something, for our vote, for us wanting a hate crime bill when we're the major victims of hate crimes, police brutality. Jesus, God help us. God help us all.
how you're talking about fair housing. Yes and no. So they want to see evidence that black folks, their votes are getting them a return on investment.
Right.
Do they look at their grandparents getting Social Security?
But they're looking at what's happening now.
Okay. Social Security, in its inception, wasn't meant to be used as a lifelong remedy. You know, for elderly Americans. That's not what it was used for. It was a remedy. I'll get it back. Okay, yeah, all right. So he mentioned Social Security. Social Security was never meant to be used in perpetuity. it was a remedy for the problem of the great not the Great Recession, the Great Depression. Is used as a remedy to help individuals out during the Great Depression, and it really wasn't meant to be used long term. That's why there's so many problems with it now. And I don't understand what the points this guy's trying to make, but it's just, jeez, bro.
Well, no, they don't care about the fact that if the Republicans had their way, they may
That's
not
not
get
true.
that Social
Well, they're
Security.
still messing around with it.
But they can't win as long as we vote Democratic, keep Democrats in charge of at least one house, the Senate. If they stay home, Black Thought, listen to these people and stay home. You're going to have a Republican Senate, you're going to have a Republican
Oh no,
House, and
what's
you're
gonna
have a
happen?
Republican president. And so then let's see what they have to
Oh, be terrified of the Republicans. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy thinking. Y'all know that? This is he says abandoning the Democratic Party is insanity. Listening to this fool is insanity. And I'm suffering through this right now because I just want to smack this dude or just shake him, but nah, if I shake him, I might kill him, but yeah, if I yell at him, I might kill him too, his frail self. The clown. And look at how she looking at him. She like, yo, you a old fool. You like, you a stupid MF. Just a clown, bro. Oh, Jesus. Such a fool.
say. That's why I say
They're
it's
already
insanity.
saying
But there's no
logic to your thinking.
Logic to their thinking. Because if they're saying don't vote Democrat, where are you going to vote?
There's a lot I want to get to that all of this you've been talking about. Number one, first of all, and to deal with what Dr. Chadwell has said. Number one, I don't think all those other groups that you mentioned, I think they are organized. And we haven't been
I agree
organized.
with that. We're not
And we
organized. I
continue
keep
to
saying
look
we
at
need to
and
come together
throw,
like Voltron, folks.
rocks back at the government saying, why can't we get this? And we're not organized, and we refuse to get organized. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two is that especially the young folks, everyone up here probably votes. But those young folks that are not voting, they don't understand how the process works.
Very simple process.
They don't understand that because of
you pick the candidate that you're most in line with, that goes with your values. It's not a popularity contest, folks. These are your rights that people are playing with. So you shouldn't just go by, oh, well, I like him. Oh, well, I like the way he talks. Did you look at the policies? Did you look at what the person stands for? Oh, well, I like that it's a black face. And we've seen what happens when we just elect a black face. Look at Jim Clyburn. The man who tells you, other black Americans, stop asking for reparations. You're not going to get it.
If you wait on cash payments to come out of reparations, you're going to wait forever. It's not going to happen. So what you got to do, let me just talk. Don't put that in my face.
Why are you touching me?
Okay, all right. I'm going to leave you alone.
Cut the check.
Just like that. Just like that.
not voting, there's no way in hell that all of the branches of government are under Republican
The state government.
right.
And ultimately, I'll say this, that local elections have the most impact on you. Local elections affect you directly, more so than, the national elections. And you should understand who these people are. And you can't just, I'm just saying this to Black Americans right now. You can't just vote blue no matter who. We see what's going on in Chicago and New York, and it's crazy. It's crazy. California too. There's literally towns of homeless people, but they'll do everything for these immigrants, but they won't help American citizens. I mean, listen, you don't got to be an American flag wearing, gun toting patriot, to have some type of sense and pride in your country. When what's best for your countrymen. Listen, my heart goes out to those people, those asylum seekers and stuff like that. I get it, things are bad. Things are bad here, but you're fleeing your country rather than try and build it up and try and fight for it. These people are leaving. Listen, let's just continue.
Movements in some states, such as Texas, already saying that if you miss 2 consecutive voting opportunities, they're taking you off the records. So they're already doing some backdoor voter suppression.
Yes.
By if you don't vote, then we're getting ready to scratch you off.
And who's trying to prevent that of the Democrats? Not the Republicans are pushing that, and the Democrats is trying to.
But again,
He makes it sound like
no opposition from us.
It's like the X-Men versus,
Yeah.
Well, what are we
versus Brotherhood of Mutants. Like, come on,
the civil rights, or it might be black, the Association of Civil Rights Organizations.
What are they doing?
Oh, they lobby Congress all the time.
No, I'm not talking about Congress, okay?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about us. I'm talking about
we're part of Congress. Yeah.
I'm saying there is no concerted effort to be able to get us to be able to go. Yeah, you can go to Congress and we can have those lobbyist groups that go to Congress or whatever, okay? But they don't have the type of money that the white organizations have, because we're not donating. We're not doing any of those type of things that those other companies or organizations are doing for their people. We're not putting any money. And I think there's an educational process that needs to go in place first for us to be able to understand what needs to happen for us to be able to make strides in the positive direction.
I agree with you, and it's not happening.
It's not happening.
Why is it not happening, old man?
Whatever they are, millennials.
Oh, it's the millennials' fault.
Are not taking this seriously enough, because they need to, before just mouthing off.
We're just mouthing off.
Study it.
We don't know what we're talking
You
about.
talk about these guys, they're the ones came up with this stupidity, defund the police. Now, who did that play into? The Republicans ate that up.
Absolutely.
Man, they had a ball with that. Now, if they had thought that through, they would have said something so stupid.
Right.
To allow our
Defund the police. Now, this is how you could tell this man is completely just, he is just so out of touch with the times. He is so out of touch. Defund the police, at least as I've come to understand it, is not the total abolishment of police activities or police as we know it, but rather a brand new understanding of what it can be, and reallocating those the funds that the police would get, instead of them getting military grade equipment, to further harm more Americans, Black Americans. It's to reallocate those resources to better training, to utilize other avenues of law enforcement, different techniques, getting psychologists or those type of social service workers and stuff like that to be on the force as well, to deal with some of those situations that might require it, because as we've seen, calling the police isn't the end all, and a lot of times when there's situations of somebody with special needs, they're not readily equipped to handle those situations, and more often than not, they end up in a worse off situation than they began. So that's what defund the police means. It's the reallocation of those resources for for better things, for better programs, better training. So I mean, maybe he likes his people getting shot. Maybe he likes us getting shot. Maybe us millennials should just shut up and just stick to status quo, vote blue no matter who, doesn't matter, don't care about his grandchildren or nothing or what they might do, it's fine. Just keep voting blue, and if everybody gets over you, no problem. That's okay. You got you should be happy that you're able to vote and your grandparents have Social Security. Yeah, okay.
I don't say our enemy, but our opposition to take that and run with it. And we all had to suffer because of that. And it's like you say, because they're just out there doing what they want to do, running their mouths, saying what they want to say. There needs to be some control over that. And at the national level, you have things happening. But then let's go back to even Obama. I mean, Obama didn't turn out to be the president black people thought he was going to be.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't a black leader. Obama had to get those white folks to vote for him,
And all
that was important. So he couldn't be that leader.
Yes, he could have.
That they're talking
Yes,
about.
he could have.
And all of those white folks.
Yes, he could have. We seen what Trump did. He could have signed reparations into law that same day. He had more than enough power. And if you're gonna and if you're gonna be the first, with all that vitriol he was getting, why not make a mark? I would have caused a dent so hard. Please. He needed, see, this is so what Arthur Williams is saying is that Obama needed to tap dance and be a good little Negro. Forget being pro-black, and let me say this: pro-black doesn't mean anti-white, anti-Asian, anti-anything. It's jeez. I wanna say so much more, but I'm just trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be real nice. All right, let's continue this.
Folks are upset because we had a black president.
Because of the Voting Rights Act.
Because of that, and they're saying it will never happen again. So they're making sure, even though Obama really didn't do what black folks.
Right. Right. I'll give him that. He was a good president in terms that he did help everybody. He helped LGBTQ, gay marriage. He got bin Laden. There was a lot he did. He killed Gaddafi, which was messed up. Because Gaddafi was trying to unify parts of Africa, and he was coming up with his own currency, the gold dinar. So I mean, if you want to call that great, that was pretty messed up for them. But Obama could have done so much more for us, because there might not be another opportunity to have another black president. You got to take advantage of certain opportunities when they're given to you, because there might not be another chance. You don't know that. So, I mean, he's right. He's right in that regard.
Thought they were going to do for them.
Didn't though.
He helped everybody. He was a very good president.
And his
Because we know that argument is in reverse. When you help black people, it trickles down. It helps the entire nation. It helps everybody. When you help black folks, you help everybody. That's why I can't fathom why people were so against reparations, because you talk about their tax dollars. Well, your tax dollars went to Ukraine, went to all these other things. Is going to illegal immigrants. It's going to all these other places in the world. But you don't go up in arms about that. But the moment it's black attached to it, it's an issue. And we know that Black Americans, at least some, not the majority, some are going to just trick their money or blow their money away, right? And who's going to get those dollars? American businesses, right? So either way, you get that money back to some degree. It'll stimulate the economy, create jobs for Americans. You know what I'm saying? It'll create a new growth in this country, to the likes we've never seen. It'll bridge the gap. There shouldn't be a gap, but I don't want to spend all day on that particular topic, but let's just finish this up.
By helping everybody, he helped blacks. But just like these kids are saying now, well, what are they doing for me? He couldn't do that.
Now he says 10 we're only 10 to 13% of the population. I don't believe that. If you're still thinking that we're that small of the population with how many kids I see black folks having, you think, and just for a second, just put your thinking cap on, because do you think a population is going to stay the same, stay stagnant for 400 years? Seriously, y'all let me know if you still believe that black folks are 13-14% of the population. Just let me know in the comment section. I don't think so. I think it's more like 20, 22, maybe even 25%. But it's damn sure not 14. It was 14 in the 1800s. Come on now.
10-13% of the population. We can.
But he also, I mean, he when you're the first, that comes with a big burden. So you want to make sure you're not the last. You know what I mean? And so
and that's true to some degree.
That electing another black president in the future was something that would be palpable.
But let me also say this.
I'm sorry, palatable.
Answer to Fred's question. I think that in order for it to happen again, we need to organize to understand that it can't be just the president. You just can't have the executive branch and expect the House of Representatives, the Senate.
And I think when we use terms like conservative and stuff like that, we need to understand that black folks are inherently conservative. I mean, there's a lot of things that I know that like a lot of black folks really don't stand for, but go for it. Let's continue.
The courts, where we're seeing is being packed with conservatism, all of these things. We have to understand it's a bigger and longer game than what especially the younger folks who are not being taught this in school understand about what's going on.
And that's important.
Right.
Because they don't know how important the state legislature is.
Right.
Because I know when I was teaching government, I'd tell those students, this should be
That's
the
true.
most important.
All right. So I don't want to beat y'all over the head too much with this video, but you guys could watch it. I'll pin it up. But I mean, that's what we're up against, folks. In our generation, we are literally dealing with that, and that is a problem. If we want to see progress and change and see progress and change, we need to abandon that way of thinking. You can't vote blue no matter who. I encourage you to, if you are interested in a particular politician, go to their website, see what they are promoting, see what they are about. It only takes a few minutes, and at least this way you can make an informed decision should you choose to vote. I will tell you that your local elections are very, very important. That was probably the only thing that guy said that was right. Your local elections are very important because your local elections will affect you more than, than the national government. There's only so much the national government can do, but your local elections will affect you. So with that being said, folks, let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Democratic Party. Am I making this stuff up? Am I right to have this sentiment? Should I have this sentiment? Or should I just shut up and fall in line and vote blue no matter who? Y'all let me know. But as always, good folks, stay salty, peace, stay truthful, all that good stuff. We'll catch you later on the next video.
Go to school and get a good education. Stop all that gang, man. You not from the hood.